Welcome to Highfield Farm Garden. As we leave the house, we enter the gravel garden, a really quite challenging environment where the planting is now self-defined as self-seeding occurs. We have scabious ochroluca, verbena bamtons, and perovskia providing a pastel palette of light swaying plants in this area. And it self-seeds, you have eryngiums, and the whole thing is self-defined. This is the Madness Garden. When I suggested to Jenny in 2021 that we open another third of an acre, her response was, we already have 2 acres. It's totally madness doing this at our age. However, here it is. It is the Madness, or Roger's Folly. The planting style here is matrix and scatter. A matrix of grasses with plants scattered through it and repeating through it, not in blocks or drifts, just repeating. So you can see these aster twilights, and they go into the distance. You'll have repeating plantings of sanguisorbas, heleniums, echinaceas, and the color palette in this part is mainly lilacs, purples and yellows. Grasses here with Pennisetum macroorum, which will become dominant in later months. This is Echinacea green twister. And then the other feature of this garden is no straight lines. It swoops and curves in a double infinity shape, so that you're always invited to walk through the garden. A nice planting of coreopsis there. Beautiful panicum north winds, giving a nice vertical line there. There are Cornus controversas and Cornus alternifolias planted through this area, so gradually you'll get a horizontal emphasis. Lovely blue sanguisorbas, red sanguisorbas there. These big buttresses are Eupatorium cannabinum, back around through heleniums. Another repeated plant, oft-repeated plant, is that Vernonia that you saw. Here there's a soft yellow, pale blue emphasis with some interesting liatris called Pycnostachys and a beautiful Heliopsis bleeding heart. But again, you can see the repeating emphasis on grasses. On here, another plant that's seen throughout, Agastache blackadder. So you get the idea of swoops of repeating plants on a narrow path as wide as 2 people walking side by side. So there's an intimacy about engaging in the garden. We're back again with the Echinacea there. This is a lovely shrub called Spirelsia, new leaves coral, and down here a little red Californian fuchsia. And back down through here is a big standing of Achillea goldplate. Back around to the far end of the garden we have a black water pond. Food dye is used in this to prevent algal growth and to give a lovely reflecting surface. And it's an oasis of calm here. There's a complete circle of Miscanthus gracillimus. Now we are entering the collection. This is the flower head of Aralia continentalis from China. Here, a beech hedge provides a microclimate for slightly more tender plants. That's Tetrapanax rex, down through an Amilantia here. There's a collection of Roscoias in this section, you'll see in a moment. Another Vernonia. It's a repeating theme through the garden. Here are the Roscoias, these in the ginger family, in different colors: lilac, red, white, and darker purples. I like this plant. It's a late summer flower, as you can see. We leave it in, it's hardy. And then here, through some very distinctive dahlias, we have an amazing plant called Amicia zygomeris with its wine-coloured stipules. This will have bright yellow flowers in a week or two, pea flowers. On the other side, I usually in flower more in the midsummer. There's a Nymphophea uvaria there, Elysium, star anise, Restio from South Africa, more of the bishops, that's the Bishop of York dahlia, and this is a slightly more exotic area. Now we go into the Joanna Mitchell, and I love this standing of Althea cannabina through some Molinia transparent. They support each other, giving this pink frothy experience which sways gently in the wind, underplanted with the reliable Aster Twilight again. The emphasis in this garden is more on the vertical, and you'll see lots of plants which bring that kind of emphasis to the garden. This little blue salvia is really lovely, called uliglanosa. And then as we go past the Solinum wallachianum, which is an umbel, not a vertical, but then you'll see persicarias, and you're panning up, we have a Fastigate copper beech. There are 5 totems of that in the garden, and that provides the vertical axis. More persicarias, this is orange field, a lovely Dahlia coccinea there. Also in this garden, lots of south cedars. The plant focusing in on here is Salvia convertiflora, another vertical candle. Sweeping around, we have Miscanthus gigantea, Eupatoriums are seeding through here, more Persicaria alba, and the Nymphophea uvaria nobile. This echinacea is called Fatal Attraction, it's a stunner. Back around, you can see more verticals with the Veronic castrum. Going on through this lovely airy Rudbeckia that's coming up is called Triloba, and this gently self-seeds here too. Here's the first flowers on the Vernonia. This Vernonia gets to 9 feet with us. It's a very strong, it's called ironweed in America, and that provides this purple-yellow balance again, with Petrinia giving that acid yellow, which is another self-seeder here. Now we're looking at Persicaria amplexicolis fat domino, a really lovely one. There's another Persicaria polymorpha with its fluffy flowers. Now we're entering Charlie's garden. Much more classic garden this. It's shrubs, trees and herbaceous with a lot of hydrangeas here. Coming up on the right are 2 Hydrangea serratus from Japan, quite a delicate lace cap on that blue one. Next to it from the eastern seaboard of America is Hydrangea quercifolia. This one is Snow Queen with its single flowered panicles. And pulling around, you'll see more hydrangeas in the distance. Tucked in here, coming up, is Hydrangea aspera macrophylla. I particularly like these. They have large hairy leaves and these big domes of flowers. Here you can see the canopy of trees that provides wind protection in the winter. It's more wild down here. We let it go wild. There are ferns. There are lots of ivy, unfortunately. This is a magnificent hydrangea called Hot Chocolate, bred by Maurice Foster down in Kent. A large, sad-looking euphorbia which will come down this fall. Back down here we go into the real wild. More ferns, more hydrangeas. Hydrangeas like this environment on the margins of tree cover. Excuse my finger, which appears to be making an appearance. That's Hydrangea Hespera sargentiana. Right at the bottom there's a tall hydrangea, white one, Hydrangea paniculata laverna, a particularly nice specimen, developing its own trunk now. You'll see that we have lots of hydrangeas here. Here's another quercifolia. This one is snowflake, double flowered, again from the eastern seaboard of America. Back up through here, you get another glimpse of Hydrangea aspera hot chocolate. Panning around through it, you see the walks are still very curvy. A lovely Cornus alternifolia. And this hydrangea is called Macrophylla Aisha with its cupped flowers. Going further through, that's a small magnolia there. Another group of hydrangeas. It's hydrangea time at Highfield. This one is another aspera called Kawakamii. Sweeping around, that's a lovely Macrophylla from Japan. That's a Swiss hydrangea, one of the Teller hybrids called Rochefance, and a pink one alongside it. And now you get an idea, a panorama of Charlie's garden with the massive Liriodendron there, and we then go through a great grass gateway. This is Miscanthus malipatus, which is just coming into flower. It's a stunning thing. Two corridors of that, with obviously to your right, and lo and behold, yet another couple of hydrangeas lurking. These are legacy hydrangeas. They've been in the garden 50 years or so. And again, to the right, to the left, sorry, we have a very dark hydrangea called Sanguine Nerveuse, or Bloody Marvellous, and with strong Annabelle, or as it's called, Invincible. Now we're walking through an alley of Acer Sangokakus, which bizarrely in August are already showing autumn colour. The beautiful thing about this Acer is it has coral coloured bark, so it glows throughout the winter. It's a stunning thing, and we are doing transparent pruning on it. This little gem around here is Cornus hongkongensis, an evergreen dogwood, which is still flowering. And down here we have two more hydrangeas. These are involucratas from the mountains of Japan. Interestingly, look, the flowers come from buds. That's what involucrata means, I believe. And then back under this beautiful pink glow of the Sangokakus, as we then walk back to the terrace. Coming up is drink station 1. This is where cocktails are taken at 6 o'clock. Around to behind this, we come to the breakfast area, which is surrounded by pleached Malus Everest crab apples, which gives shade in the morning. And there are some lovely standard hydrangea limelights, or hydrangeas. Perfume around the house from these stunning lilies. And this is Rosa Bengal, beautiful, beautiful rose. And here we are back at the gravel garden.